today we're going to be tying a streamer from one of my favorite books, Trout Fishing by Joe Brooks. This was a book that I had as I was a kid, and it got me into fly fishing and fly tying. So this one's kind of neat. It is a keel hook streamer, which is kind of an oddball hook, but it's meant to fish in tough spots. I think like where you got a lot of wood or you got a lot of submerged things that could hang up a trout streamer. This is supposed to be able to go through it. So let's see how we tie this. This is our fly for today, and it is a Mickey fin keel fly out of the Joe Brooks book. Here we go. So we got our keel hook. And we're going to start our thread and put it down pretty tight all the way down through. Doesn't have to be touching, but it's going to be tighter than the tinsel. Trim that. A piece of goose quill. So I'm going to get that in. And I'm going to take that and bring it all the way to the bend there, just shy of the bend, and trim it tight. The reason I do that is I don't want the bump. I don't want that tinsel bump. So make that good and tight coming back. It also is going to improve durability. Okay, so we're going to get about 8 inches of gold tinsel. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tie the tinsel down so it goes back to that bump. And when we come back, we're going to wrap that good and tight. A good tight layer of thread all the way back and back up. And the top part up here is where the bucktail will be going in. We're just winding our tinsel. That as tight as you can keep it. It's pretty interesting that these keel flies go back probably 50 or more years. Nowadays we have the streamers on a jig hook, and we think we're very clever, but they had kind of the same idea a long time ago. So we just got to get that all the way up and around the corner. And trim that off. So now we got yellow bucktail. And you want to keep this sparse. You don't want tons of it. Get a pinch of that in. Stack it in the hair stacker. It gets the tips all nice and even. You see an odd one, you can always pull it out. And we're going to come back about that far. that in good and tight. And lift it up and trim it off at an angle. So there's that. Now we got to go red. And I got to get that stacked up. That in. Trim it off the same way. And one more yellow. And bring that in. And same deal on the trim. Let's just go forward and get the ends all in. Doesn't have to be tight yet. We got one more step. Since this is an old school fly, we're going to use an old school eye. Broke into the jungle cock vault and got a couple of those. Get that one in. And they're going to go on the sides. Get one. Flip it over, get another one. And we'll just trim those. And we just gotta wind the head in. The whole goal is cover up anything with the black thread. So I'm using a bit finer thread than most people would probably use, and I find that on these old style streamers I get a much better look for the head. Let's check, we got that side. Whip finish. Trim. And we're going to go old school with the finish too, because this makes it really nice, especially if you do coats. 2 coats, we're going to have black nail lacquer. The head on that. And that's it. Mickey Finn, keel fly.